I'm a city boy. I moved to the country just over 3 years ago, and in that time, I've learned a lot about country life, agriculture, farming, and how much country folk are ignored and poorly considered by politicians and those who live in our major metropolitan areas. And I get it. Until I moved out here, I had no idea how tough it is to be a farmer operating under the rules dictated by people who seem to have no idea where food really comes from. Which leads me to the subject of this video, the live sheep export trade. Now, I don't like it, but I'm going to tell you why I support it, why we need it, why sheep need it, and why every fair-minded, reasonable, rational Australian should support it, even if grudgingly. So Australia's made a significant decision to ban all live sheep exports by sea by 2028. And while the stated aim is to reduce cruelty to sheep, there's a lot of us who believe the ban will actually have the opposite effect on a global scale. Now, my theory is quite simple. If we truly want to reduce cruelty to sheep, it's better for Australia to export them. Why? Because Australia has some of the strongest laws in the world when it comes to caring for sheep on board a ship. The Australian government's reasons for the ban are primarily focused on animal welfare. They're talking about years of community concern and scientific evidence, but they also point to the declining nature of the live export industry and the potential for growth in onshore processing. And to try and manage the financial distress that this ban will inevitably cause sheep farmers, a $140 million transition package has been allocated to support affected industries. But let's look at the facts. Australia's regulatory framework, including the Australian Standards for the Export of Livestock, ACEL, sets out comprehensive requirements for the health and welfare of sheep during transport. Now, this includes space allowances, ventilation, feed and water provisions, and onboard veterinary care. We even have the Exporter Supply Chain Assurance System, which is ESCAS, which aims to ensure the humane treatment of the sheep even once they've landed in the importing countries. Now, while no transport is without risk, Australia's average mortality rate for live sheep exports by sea has significantly decreased. In 2022, it was just 0.14%, a sixth of what it was in 2014. And in 2023, it remained low at 0.18%. The average daily mortality rate in 2023 was a record low of 0.0062%. That's way less than it was in 2010. And of course, farmers want their sheep to survive the trip. They don't get paid for the ones that don't make it. Now, consider this. Stopping Australian exports won't stop the countries who currently buy our sheep from buying sheep. They'll simply go elsewhere, to countries that, quite frankly, treat their sheep far worse than we do. On a worldwide basis, by taking us out of the equation, that just means animal suffering worldwide is going to increase and animal welfare standards worldwide will decrease. Because without us here, leading the pack, so to speak, all of the things that we've learned through our changes in Australia are going to be completely for nothing. Countries like Sudan and Somalia could well step in to fill the demand, and their regulations and practices fall far short of Australian standards. Argentina, which has recently lifted its ban on live cattle exports, could also become a significant player in the live export market. And while Argentina does have some animal welfare regulations for transport and slaughter, their standards for live sheep export by sea are currently unclear. And historically, they've imposed restrictions on sheep meat exports. This means more sheep could face greater suffering during transport and at their destination. Instead of a complete ban, wouldn't it be better to continue exporting under our high standards, ensuring that at least the sheep that we manage are transported and handled with the best care possible? We can be a positive influence on global animal welfare by maintaining our presence in this trade and continually striving for improvement. The ambition to reduce cruelty to sheep is a noble one, but the evidence suggests that banning Australian live exports may inadvertently lead to more suffering globally. So let's focus on maintaining our high standards and continuing to improve animal welfare within our own export industry. We've all seen those horrible videos of how sheep have been treated in the past, here, on ships, and at their destination. And all we can do is keep working and guarding our systems to ensure the best possible treatment of the animals from end to end. I still don't like the live sheep trade. But if the bigger picture is to reduce cruelty to animals, it's better that they come from here, where our regulations are that much stricter, and we get the financial benefits. I really don't like it, but it does make sense.